Thank you all so much. I hope you can you hear me? Um, First and foremost, I want to introduce our Aunt Sarah. So my Uncle Marty's mother was Rebecca. There were 7 kids, and Sarah was the youngest of the family line and the last standing. Aunt Sarah is 98 years old, and we should all aspire to be Aunt Sarah when we grow up. So she is amazing, and we're all so grateful for her, and we're so glad that you're here. I also want to introduce Marty had he had such a big heart and so many people, but he only had one sister, and that's my mother, Sabra. So my mom, Sabra, is 5 years younger than Marty. And then my mom has 3 daughters. So I'm the oldest. My sister Diane is the next, and my sister Katie is the youngest. Just a quick, Katie was adopted as an adolescent, and from the minute my parents adopted Katie, Marty asked no questions. There was we have a new daughter now, and he always treated Katie exactly the same way we all did. She's a part of our family as if she had been born into us, and that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. My Uncle Marty. He was a family man. I know a lot of you know him as a business person, and as a partner, but at his core, he was a family man. He was the glue that cemented all of our bonds. My mother's family is long and extended. We tried to count up once how many cousins you have. I think it was like 50 cousins. Marty knew every single one of them. He kept track of everyone. And whenever he and Kay and the girls were running, going through whatever town, if there was a cousin there, he said, "Oh, let's have brunch. Let's get together." So we always had an opportunity to get together when Marty rolled through town, and those times are so special. Just one quick. Sorry, I'm a little okay. It's really the last time I was in this club. My sister and I were like 24 years old, and we were like partying it up, and it's amazing to be here without Marty. But so you all know Marty was not a particularly religious person. He had a bar mitzvah when he was 13, and I think after his bar mitzvah, the next time he stepped into a synagogue was my bat mitzvah about 35 years later. But he showed up for that, despite the fact that he had no interest in attending synagogue, but he showed up. And I think the next time he went to a synagogue after that was about 30 years later, when he came to my son's bar mitzvah about 9 months ago. And he at once every 30 years, right? He rolled his eyes and he said the service was too long, and oh my God, there's so many Jews here. What are they? But he showed up. That was Marty. No matter what it was, he showed up. So for all of the family events, no matter how big or how small, he always showed up, and he brought us together in ways that we're going to have to work hard as an extended family to keep these connections, because Marty was the glue that cemented all of our bonds. He always picked up the check. He was always very. He never made a fuss. But after my son's bar mitzvah, he took everyone out for Chinese food. The night afterwards, and anyone who was in town, everyone was welcome. He had a very big tent philosophy, which I see here because I see so many people here that were not technically, they're not family, but I know that Marty would have counted you as family. He kept track of all of the distant cousins, and everyone was always welcome. Sorry. You got this. Family was everything to him, and family had no definition. So if you loved Marty, you were family. All right, I think. He loved us, and he loved all of you, and he showed that by always showing up. He was always there. He was always present. He hated the spotlight, so sometimes you didn't even know he was there, and he didn't like to be photographed. But he was always present. He was always there, and he loved our family, and he loved all of you. Thank you so much for being here.